Now that we got to this point in it, I trust my audience a little bit more that my face may not tell a story that they do not know. Thus they will judge what they see. So now by seeing my face, will you accept the words I have to say? As you already know, I am Raphael, and it is my story. And if it is a story that you don't know, then why not just look at it as like a cat with the 9 lives? Okay? And it's a tale. So it's the tale of my story, and it's the truth of my tale, which makes the best of all of the stories. So when you wait to the end of the story, or the 24 hours in the day, or the 7 days in the week, when you know it is over, then you can talk about it and make judgment of what you think and discuss and exchange ideas for what it is, because it is what it is. They planned it out, and they had a script, and they made a movie, and that's what it was. So now what I was trying to get to is, what I was trying to do here is try to look what perfection is. You see, I was thinking, I got 10 fingers, and I got 10 toes, 5 and 5. So the division of 10, which looks like not 10, because the actual middle would be 5 on both sides, if we went to 11. Now I'm going to show you how you get to 11. And don't forget, it's hard to search in the dark, but in the light we never go into the dark to search. So therefore there might be answers hidden that we never look for, and one might be the truth, and if the truth is in the dark and you don't open up the light to see it, or you don't listen to it, or you see its face and you don't like the face, you won't listen to the whole truth. You listen to nothing of the truth. Then you won't be a good judge. You will be unfair, and if you're my judge and I go to court and you're in front of me and I see you and I knew how you thought about this, I don't want you as my judge. Okay? Because we all knew one thing. When all is dark, there is some light. So they brought light. And light was bright, so they made the light bright. And bright was the creator. So he was the creator of the sun, who was a reminder of bright, and that's what we want from our sons and daughters, and that's why we want them to go to medical school, because you have to be very bright. And we want them to go to colleges, to win bachelors and degrees and be the best, and the jocks. Don't forget the jocks, because sometimes the jocks are the key to all. Like the jockey. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to show you how it works with the jockey. I always have a long story because no story is short. All stories that hold the whole truth and nothing but the truth, you have to hear the whole story. Well, it's long and it ends up to be a small movie of some sort. But anyways, the movie is short. You see, the jock is a key, okay? And I learned this in horse racing because I went to the track. So you got the blinders. So the horse only sees one thing. You see all that white? Plus you got the 2 black lines. So he knows there's a little bit of danger out there. He's got to be careful. Now he knows what's in front of him. The jock is the key to his direction. Thus, he has direction, he can close his eyes and go, and that's why he has the blinders, because everything else beside him deceives him and changes his thought, just like my face. Well, anyways, it's the same thing for everything else. We're going to get back to perfection. Because if we want to count the 9 and 10 toes, let's count everything. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, we got 10, but we're missing the other one, 0. The 0 makes perfection to 11, because if we count up, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we still have 10 fingers, but now we're at 9, when before we went the other way we had 11. So now we're missing. So the bit that we're missing gives us the opportunity to better ourselves, to get the 10, which is 100%, which is the perfection. Is it not? When I went to school, that's what it was. If you got 9 out of 10, you only got 90%, so you got the chance to do better. You're a good guy. But when you get it all right, you don't want to listen to anybody else. So anyways, in order to get this all right, so we counted forward, we counted backwards. Now that we get to 11 with 10 fingers, that's 10%. So that's the 10% we need. That is our energy, okay? It is the spirit. And in French it was said, esprit, spirit, the weight to travel. And the weight to travel is with only 10% of your mind. Because if you are going back to heaven, you have to be going back somewhere. Well, obviously, I'm going back to the rest of my files, where they hold 100% of my truth, because only the truth can get into the files, because lies are lies, and what's the difference? What's the lie? It's still a lie, and it doesn't tell the truth. So therefore, in my files, where my angel is, because that's the name of my file, we all have the same name file. My file name is Angel7286, so that's 100% of the truth of my life. The 10% of connection that I need to take the rest of the truth of my life there makes 10%. So now you got the 10% on the ground, but the angel makes 110%. Wow. TQS, television station Cap Saison, because it's for the four seasons of who you are. The heart, the diamond, the club, and the spade. You are very serious with the spade, and in French, then pique. Ça fait mal au cœur. But your heart is rock, because love is strong, and that's why the diamond is love. But don't forget that we always want to have fun in life, and that's the club. C'est une trèfle, c'est dans le champ, and we all roam in the champ. You know what the champ is? Even the sheep go in the champ. Now the question about the white sheep, the one that was sacrificed, the one that is grumbling, that has always been knocked down to the bottom of everything. But what's at the bottom of the barrel? Well, let's think about it. In the universe, two rocks crash and hit. They make dust, which makes it cloudy. And it falls down, which makes the rain as the rocks fall to the ground. And then the rocks roll down to where the dust and the skies will stay cloudy all day. As you see what happens, nobody moved for the other, so it got real cloudy. Now, Cap Saison has a mouton noir. Now, of course, everybody understands the mouton noir, don't you? Hey? Before he became noir, he was a little gray, right? So we're a little gray in the head. But the truth is always white because it's easier to see. If you have a spot on it, you can find it. Now, what happened is, although the sheep was the truth, but the wolf devoured him and changed his truth into a lie. So then the white sheep, who was so pure, that got knocked down to the bottom where all the dust is, because ashes burn to dust and everything goes to the bottom when it weighs nothing on earth. Therefore, the white sheep, who is good and is still good, turns into the black sheep. Now they say, Baba, black sheep, because he fell to the bottom of the barrel, and it's not his fault if his lines changed. It was just he got knocked down, and at the bottom of the barrel, it's very dusty down there. And it's just not his fault. And Baba, black sheep, have you any wool? His wool is just as good as anybody else's. In fact, at the beginning of everything, his wool was pure as silk. Sing all the nursery rhymes, and you have all the answers. Mix them up, throw them to the universe, remind yourself of the truth, take all the books of the truth, because the truth is the truth, break it all down and bring it all back to where the main truth came from, because everybody remembers, if you go to the 10 Commandments, in all actuality, if you try to find something that's bad, it'll be in there. You'll find the good side. If you try to find something that's good, you'll find it there, you'll see bad. And you have the opportunity on earth to use your own judgment, and as long as your judgment stays in your own head, and you don't make the action, you will not get into any trouble. That's why it's great to have the power of the mind. It's for our play on earth. G-A-M-E. There's so many ways to look at it. G for God, A for angel, M for man, E for esprit, e-spirit, for the matrix, because we have to pass through the matrix before we get to our angel. Because if we are impure, we have to go to purgatory before any of our questions or anything we have to say goes to him, because we only can tell him the truth. He doesn't accept anything less than the truth, and if we tell him a lie, he gets hurt, he gets a virus. It slows down the connection of the spirit, as the connection of your internet is jammed up with viruses and Roman horses and Trojan horses. So is the line of life. It's all relevant. You have to make the relevance of it. You have to understand the game. You see, hey, little child, Mother Tucker, the man in the shoe, Humpty Dumpty who sat on the wall, and he fell down. Well, the men were there to protect him. So if they knew what security was all about, they would have put something on the bottom, something to carry him, to catch him if he does fall. Someone beside him put the hand on each shoulder, you know, so he has balance. Because without balance, you have nothing. Of course you will fall. All man will fall. Just like the Twin Towers fell, and they don't want the mosque there because they want to put the Twin Towers up. As man to be equal again, because my hands are white and they're not black and all equal signs look darker, you can't see the clearer part of the truth, that nothing is equal on both sides, unless it is equal on both sides, because you won't leave this mark. If it wasn't equal and you were asking a question about it, you'd just probably divide it up like this. And this is for one thing and that's for the other thing. The reason for 1111 is the Twin Towers before, that stood up 11, and there was a break in time with the 2 decimals, so they put up the other Twin Towers on this side for the second chance of man. Don't you get it? Count again. Count again twice. Your toes and your fingers, you end up to have 11 and 11 equals 22. And when you count backwards in time from a whole day, the first hour is over, you have 23. 2 and 3 and 5. 5 is middle and 9, which is the 2 sides of life, the chance before, the chance after. The reason for the 2 11s, when you turn them sideways, you now have 2 equal signs. If you can't get anything equal after 2 chances, well, I don't know if we're going to get another chance. So if you listen to this and you like it, now that you see my face, you can put a face to the words. Sometimes the face means a lot if the words are right. So I decided that you think now of the words, look at my face, and think if I speak the truth. 90% of what I did without work, without paper, without this. I did it with a sock. This is what my workhouse is. I got 2 socks here. My mother says, "Why do you always walk 2 socks?" I said, "Ma, I see better parts of the story." I said, "Should I walk into the mud with the black sock? I don't see what's going on. But if I walk into the mud with the white sock, I'll probably see the black sock. Now I'll have 2 socks that are the same. They're equal. Isn't that what we all search? Something that's equal? But we never want something that's the same, and then it's equal. But that's why they made up money. Because money has all those turns in it. Because you turn and turn en rond, parce qu'au bout de la ligne, on sait pas mieux. That's the pressures in the universe. That when they hit a certain wall, it keeps pushing into space like a balloon until it turns. And the only way it finds direction is if something comes from the top coming downwards, which forces it in between. And if it doesn't bust, it'll break. And if it doesn't break, it'll fall to nothing. Therefore, the sign of money was never good to start with. Because in the universe, it breaks up everything. Because if you put something this way, if you put a sock this way, and you push it in, it bends. And if you push in the other side, it bends. There we go, part of the money sign or the snake. The whole thing is if you come from the top, and you go through it, you poke the whole thing in, and the whole thing breaks. If it was a balloon, it would bust, and there wouldn't be no more balloon. I look like Vince, don't I? Chop, chop. Everything is chop, chop. Come ask me the question. I can't promise you the answer. I can make up a story. It may be a fable until we find the truth. And then when we find the truth, and the truth is fun, let's have fun with the truth. And that's why we're here on Earth. Now, I told you the name of the game from one side. Now I'll tell you it from the other side. G-A-M-E, government, arms, malicious, magic, E, evil. One side of the story is the evil, and then you got God, the angel, man or Merlin, who's always there with the good magic, and then the E is for the connection between you and the angel for the whole story, the 110%, TQS, the mouton noir, the black sock, and the white sock. They're actually both the same. They're brothers. Just because one got pushed around and he ended up looking a little bit different, they're still brothers, and they still look like the Twin Towers. Thus, therefore, even if I turn them a little sideways, okay, I'll try and do this. Hold on a second. Right? See, look, Twin Towers are actually black, right? And here we got a black and white, which makes man whole. Black and the white, put it back together, they're still brothers, right? One is black, one is white, one got pushed to the bottom of the ladder, changing him for that color. And that's the way it is. All man is equal. Stop playing around. Look at your skin. If your skin was white, it'd be pure as the snow. Like Sleeping Beauty, like Snow White. Your skin ain't like that. Wake up, man. You show me someone that's white. Even the Germans thought it was them. Why? German. Der, man, Der, the Read it in French. Read it backwards. Read it forward. It's there in history to make sure, man, that if he went off track too far, somebody was going to set it into place. And it was the Germans who had to do that. And it was God who gave the directive to one man to push. So we should try harder to be better, because we're no better than the next. Just because their game proved to kill and our game proved some otherwise, who says the game is better on that side than on our side? Who says their truth is the best when on both sides are both liars, and both sides won't go up into heaven because the angel doesn't want to hear from the liar. He wants the true story. So call me back when you got the true story, because I don't want a liar, and I don't want to speak to anybody that lies to me, because that ain't the truth. And I don't want to take this lie anywhere unless you tell me a fable and a story just for fun. We'll have a laugh. I'll listen to it. I'll take it as the truth of the fable, and I'll accept you. But if you tell me a lie has no path and no directions, I cannot let it in. For I am connected, and the rune of it. If you want to wreck everything and who I am, it's very simple. Take this sock, okay? Take this sock. It's the way it is. And the sock, me and my angel, okay, we're connected, right? And if you give us lies, eventually me and my angel, like everybody's looking for, this is what man is. This is what man is. How many chances do we have left? You know, is there any chance at all? Look at that. You put them underneath, they both have the same color. They're not equal. They fall. Nostradamus knew there was war from the beginning of man. He figured there'd be war to the end of man.